I'm John James, and I approve this message.
My name is Annie Nix. I'm 91 years old. I'm John John's grandmother. He was raised right and had to be raised right. You always get yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am from John John. He respects senior citizens. John understands how important health care is, and he would do all that he can to protect it. John respects senior citizens and protects senior citizens because John protects me.
Morning Glory, America. That was Annie Nix. I'm Hugh Hewitt inside the Beltway, joined by John James, Michigan's next senator. Welcome back, John James. Good to have you on the Hugh Hewitt Show again.
Hey, so glad to be back, Hugh. This is exciting times, man. I'm excited to be in the foxhole with you today.
That is a terrific ad by Annie Nix, your grandmother. You released that, like releasing the Kraken in the last 2 weeks of the campaign. Is that registered with Michigan voters?
Well, she's been my rock for my entire life, and having her be a part of this, we wouldn't have it any other way. I speak a lot about the trials and tribulations that my parents had to make it through, coming from the Jim Crow South, providing additional opportunity for me, and my mom and dad moving from poverty to prosperity in one generation by the grace of God, education and entrepreneurship, and my desire to tear down barriers to the American dream and increase access to the American dream. And taking a look at my grandmother, Annie Nix, 91-year-old Spitfire, somebody who, though there was racial discrimination, she refused to be a victim in her home country, even though she was vulnerable, raised 7 kids by herself as a widow, and everybody's been successful. I truly believe that with God in our lives and with the federal government out of it, we can all be more successful. And somebody who was raised by somebody like Annie Nix, John James, and Sharon James is somebody who we need on the floor of the United States Senate, making sure that everyone, regardless of race, color, and creed, can be more successful.
John James, you're a proud graduate of West Point. I had your classmate on yesterday, Wesley Hunt. He said bad things about you.
Well, Wesley Hunt's a terrible, terrible person. I certainly wouldn't. I wouldn't trust him with my family's life. No, Wes Hunt has been a great friend. We graduated West Point in 2004 together. We both became Ranger helicopter. We both became Apache helicopter pilots and was deployed in Operation Rocky Freedom. Wes Hunt is a tremendous human being, a great family man, and would be a massive benefit not only to his district but to his country. I will be proud to serve again with Wes Hunt.
John James, tell me something. When do you put up your hand, and what year do you say I want to fly Apaches? I mean, what is that the last year that you make that choice?
Well, honestly, see, this is the thing. When you step out on faith and you let God take over, there's no telling where he'll take you, but he will always take you in a way that will bring glory to him and to prosper you. I actually had terrible vision when growing up. I was one of the very first people in the United States military to get LASIK surgery and still qualify for the aviation course and also Ranger School. I after getting LASIK surgery in the fall of 2003, was eligible to fly Apaches. Went to flight school for a year and a half, and then after flight school, went to Ranger School, which was absolutely incredible. It helped me save lives with my folks over downrange. As a result of the opportunities that I had, I took the opportunity to go to Ranger School, which helped me understand what it was like on the ground. And when I was flying combat missions in Baghdad and I'd get a distress call from troops in contact, because I knew what it was like on the ground, people who were desperate, people who were face down, people who couldn't go from top down but had to go from bottom up, people who needed resources and air support right now where they were, their lives were on the line. I was able to get support to the ground because I knew what it was like on the ground. And right now, Americans and Michiganders need air support. They need senators who show up for work. They need senators who understand what it's like in the real world, a combat veteran who's protected lives before and knows how to keep Americans safe because they've done it before, a business leader who understands what it takes to grow our economy. When I grew my family business by 233% in 5 years, added over 100 jobs in an industry that needed a bailout, in a city that went bankrupt, in a state that was hit hard by the recession, we're going to need somebody who knows how to take us forward, emerging from the physical and economic health crisis caused by COVID, because I know what it's like on the ground. I can get more effective fires, more effective resources to people in America who need help right now. And Gary Peters is a career politician. I'm a combat veteran. I'm a war fighter. He's a gaslighter. Right now, he is campaigning online, He doesn't know what it's like on the ground because he's been in politics for 30 years. He's been in Washington for 12, and he's been in the Senate for 6. And nobody can point to a thing he's done they had no idea who he was until an election year. This could be the 51st vote for our constitutional republic, and we need to get support for people on the ground right now. If you want to learn more, please go to johnjamesforsenate.com.
That is the website. It is johnjamesforsenate.com, johnjamesforsenate.com. And if you go to johnjamesforsenate.com, you'll see a donate button. I want to ask you, John, about the fact that a lot of elite media like John Harwood, CNN's John Harwood, have been retweeting altered videos of you to make you look bad. I mean, you're not just running against Gary Peters and the Democrats. You're running against the media that wants Peters back because they want Chuck Schumer to run the Senate. I don't know what the money race is like, but you also have to work against a lot of distorted media. I don't know if they're dupes or if they're intentional about it, but they have been retweeting disinformation.
Well, it's no surprise. But you know what? We've outraised Senator Peters 4 quarters in a row, 5 election cycles. 5 reporting quarters in a row. But all that means is the good Lord and the people out there are supporting. And this race is between me and Senator Peters, and it's about people of the state of Michigan and this great nation. And the people out there, the pundits, know about it. They're tweeting altered things because they know that Senator Peters is somebody who will vote 90. He says he's bipartisan, right? But a heck of a bipartisan who votes 95% with Chuck Schumer and 85% with Bernie Sanders, which is a solid A as a New York senator and a solid B as a socialist. That doesn't represent Michigan, and that's not what's best for our country. And so you have to have people, the powerful, who are attacking a private citizen, which is dangerous, in protecting the government, protecting the incumbent, because he has nothing to run on himself. So I'm excited to have your support, and with your support, 95% of all of our donations are $100 and less, and the average donation size is $31. And again, by the grace of God and your support, johnjamesforsenate.com, we will have the gas in the tank. We will have the fuel to make sure we get the truth out there.
Now, John, in terms of Detroit, you're winning the rest of the state handily except Ann Arbor and Detroit. Ann Arbor, I don't know if the kids aren't there. That's in the same numbers, so that may actually help you. I'm not sure what Michigan's doing. Their law school is my alma mater, and they were crazy left when I was there, and they're even crazier left now. But what about Detroit? What was the margin when you first ran? What do you think the margin's got to be for you to win this time?
Well, you know what? I don't have a black message. I don't have a white message. I have a red, white, and blue message. And right now, Gary Peters has failed all of us, regardless of race, color, or creed. I believe that people in Detroit want the same thing that people in Alpena want. I believe that they want somebody who will show up, show respect, and show love. I think they want somebody who will finally get results. And right now, the choice is the same. Last time we got single digits in areas of Detroit. This time we're looking at getting double digits because people are looking at, and they're looking out and they're looking at what Democrats haven't done for them, and they're saying, you know what, maybe a 39-year-old black guy from Detroit who started school in Detroit public schools and was just given additional opportunity, maybe this guy whose father was a truck driver and his father was a mason and his father was a sharecropper and his father was a slave, maybe this guy might have a better idea of what's required than Senator Gary Peters, who continues to double his wealth while people in Detroit fall behind. We need change. We need it now. And I believe that with all your support, we're going to be able to show exactly what we can do, broadening the back of the elephant to include millennials and minorities in a way that Democrats don't want to happen. And that's why they're throwing everything and the kitchen sink at me from all over the nation, because they know that I'm not going to flip this seat. I'm going to flip their entire narrative that they control me, that they control us. But nobody nobody owns me, Hugh. And I think that's what they're terrified of. I'm an independent thinker raised by 2 Democrats in the Jim Crow South and Annie Nix, and that's what they know, and we're going to make sure that we hold them accountable in this election.
Quick last question, John James. The website is johnjamesforsenate.com. If Gary Peters walked down the street in Ann Arbor, no one would know who he is. Does that matter anymore? I mean, absolutely nobody knows who he is in D.C. He's never been visible. He's never done a thing. Does that matter to voters? You got like 30 seconds.
Yeah, Gary Peters is the invisible man. Nobody knew his name until the election year. That is unacceptable. I'm used to being held accountable every day, not every election year. Michigan deserves better. Senator Peters skipped over 80% of the hearings to hold China accountable, over 80% of the hearings to protect us from pandemic preparedness, and Democrats are throwing tons of money into his race to save his hide. I need you to help to help me save this nation, to save our constitutional republic. This could be the 51st vote, guys, in the United States Senate, and I need you in the foxhole with me. God bless you. Let's fly.
Thank you, John. John James for Senate.com. John James for Senate.com.